Hey, what's up and welcome back to Graphic Heroes. Now today I'm doing a quick toy unboxing and review of this bad boy. That's the reissued MEFEX Hush Batman number 105. Let's check this bad boy out. Well, there you have it. There we have it. The MEFEX Batman Hush action figure. Again, that's number 105 of the Mafex line. Oh, I can't wait to check this guy out. Mafex boxes always have those toy poses. This guy clearly comes with some stuff, so let's open this box up and see what we're dealing with. Now I got this guy straight from Japan, so I paid a pretty fair price for him. You just gotta pay for the shipping. Way better than the aftermarket pricing, though, I'll tell you that. If you get these Mafexes straight from the source, you're gonna save yourself a pretty penny. Okay. So we can see he comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sets of hands. 7 sets of hands. Yo, let's take this. So these Mafex toys tend to be really nice. So let's check them out. Definitely has all the articulation you would expect from a Mafex. Not full splits, but pretty good splits. That's pretty nice, so we'll take a look at this in a second. One of the more famous poses on that cover is a pretty good shot of his boot, so we'll check that for shape and size. The Hush Batman, yo, this guy's got one hell of a cape. It is a wired cape. It's got a lot of pleating around the top here, you can see. Good looking head sculpt. Nice shading. Wonder if I could get some more light introduced. Give me 1 second. Let me pop this area with a little light. Yeah, that's better. Sorry, I should have started with that. You can see he's got some nice shading on the face. These Mafex toys tend to be pretty nice. I am not in love with that detail. It's kind of a weird detail. Does not look so bad from the back. Lot of cape. Just a lot of cape. And it has a couple wires. The wire is not strong enough to hold the cape vertically, but it is strong enough to hold the cape out. I feel like you want something here, though. Pretty good, though. Pretty good. It's a whole lot of cape, man. Let's tell you that. I mean, it's a whole lot of just cape. Definitely do that. Now, as is a traditional look for the Hush Batman, he's got one hell of a pouchy belt. This is signature of the 90s. Hush didn't come out in the 90s, but might have been 2002. But Jim Lee was drawing a ton in the 90s, And you'll notice all the X-Men in the 90s start having really pouchy belts. That's kind of a signature of Jim Lee's, and this Batman has one hell of a pouchy belt. With all this cape, I assume he's not going to want to stand very well. Well, I stand corrected. These freaking Mafex toys like to stand up. Let's check out some hand swaps. Like I said, there's a whole slew of hands. So we have these hands, which are for his grappling hooks. And you've got a couple different looks. You got one loaded up in the cannon, ready to fire. The quality of that grapple hook is pretty nice. Pretty nice. And then could do that right or left-handed. And then he's got this huge shot. Really catch the action. That's pretty great. So you can see him gripping it. We're gonna swap that out. Boom. Pretty good, pretty fun. It'd be nice if he came with some like things that clip to his belt, maybe. Not complaining. Just making some suggestions here. So we got that hand. I don't think he's gonna stand up every time I go back for a hand, but let's check out some more hands. They gave us these hands that are loaded with little battering claws, I guess. He's ready for punching. Got like some Wolverine fisticuffs going on. Oops. Ready to throw like 6 of them at a time. 4 really, but it's pretty cool. What else we got hand-wise? So he comes with a set of fists, but then he comes with another set of fists. This might be a little redundant. What's really the difference between these fists? The shape is very similar, a little different. I don't know about that one. He comes with 2 sets of very similar fists. 2 sets of very similar fists. All right. I guess if you lose one set, you got another set. And then he comes with 2 sets of kind of similar hands. I mean, these are definitely a little more gripped onto something, but he doesn't come with any batterings that I see. Oh, yes, he does. I'm sorry. What kind of maniac toy figure manufacturing company doesn't give a battering or 2? All right, so it definitely comes with some batterings. And maybe that's why we got a few different kinds of fists. So we have this style battering, which I am going to assume is for maybe this fist. Yeah, that's what it is. So he's got one fist. He's got one set of fists that is just open enough to grip a batarang. And then he's got another set of fists that are completely closed. And then he's got another set of fists that are open enough to grip this other batarang, which looks pretty good. Like that. That's pretty good. But I think this one could also grip that batarang. Yeah, it's a little weirder. That's why he's got so many fists. And then he's got a fifth set of fists that are grab hands. I don't know what he's trying to grab, but I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm not going any further with that. He's got a set of grabby hands. Just look at the detail on these hands, though, man. They look great. These look great. So I think I'm going to go with a left grabby hand because he's got action. Right? There you go. Ta-da! Sorry, out of focus. Come on, man. A left hand grabby hand. And I think we're going to go with a right hand. I don't know if he's holding a gun. Boom. Shh. Hey, man, you got to hold on to the thing. Let's go with this other one. Do this one. His hands are popping out everywhere. We got hands everywhere. Come on, bats. It's like he's getting ready to do something. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Now, he also got some heads he comes with. Let's move his hand arsenal of hands off to the side for a second. Let's check out some of these head. Ooh, he's got his whole head swap. So he's got, I'll tell you what's interesting about the way his head swap works. He's got a neck and a head, and you can swap the neck or the head. So for example, he comes with this other slightly more aggressive Batman head, which if you want to use that, you want to leave the neck and take the head. Which is probably how I'm going to pose the guy. This is pretty fun. That looks pretty good. But maybe you want him just sitting in the cave, you know? You want him sitting in the cave having a conversation, and perhaps you want that look. Look at that. Looks sick. That looks pretty good. Pretty good. Now, I will say this. One thing I like about the Hush Batman comic line is the guy is pretty grizzled. I'm going to lower this a little bit. See if I can lower this a little bit. There we go. In the comic books, the Hush Batman is pretty grizzled. He's got some aftershave. Now, aftershave, he's got some stubble, you know, 5 o'clock shadow going on. The figure also comes with a figure stand or flight stand if you want to get him jumping, which is good. That's a must for any toy. I like that he stands up, man. I will say that. Mafex does find their center of balance pretty well. Let's do a quick comparison for this guy. First off, I want to show you, this is what we're basing the toy off of. This is that original Hush. And see how he's got texture on his boots. Let me get that boot down here. Let me get that boot down here. Let me get that boot down here. See how he's got that texture on his boots? And, you know, that looks pretty similar to what his boot looks like right here. And if we look at the bottom of his boot, they went so far as to give him the same tread pattern. So if you want to strike that original comic book cover pose, you can, because, ladies and gentlemen, that's just how detail-oriented these Mafex toy manufacturers are. They have given you the literal boot pattern that's on the comic book cover. Some other things that I think are worth pointing out is we have the color palette is pretty good. The Hush Batman is known for the really dark blue, which we see here really nicely. He's got the super pouchy belt, which maybe look a little less yellow. They're like a yellow tan, almost golden yellow, brownish vibe. And these are maybe a little flatter. So, oops, battery's running low. Let's go low power mode. So we see that. This is the classic cover. I think it's, what, number 208. You definitely get that. And that is really the vibe we're getting here. I kind of wish this neck piece were, kind of wish this neck piece were a little better. So this is 2001. So Hush come out in 2001's when we got that cover. Again, it's a little fuzzy here, but you get the idea. And when he had something to say to Superman. So speaking of Superman, the Hush Superman is a Mafex figure. And if you have the Hush Batman, you might be considering the Hush Superman. Adjust the camera here. And if you're wondering how they scale together, the Hush lines tend to scale really well. Unlike McFarlane, and I'm not down on McFarlane. McFarlane does exceptional toys, especially for the price point of their toys. So these scale pretty well together, I'd say. Color palettes complement each other really well. I'd say that looks pretty good. Now this guy, no texture on the bottom of his boots. You're gonna stand, soup standing up. Like I said, these Mafex toys know how to stand. Maybe you want to do a head swap. Whoa, he's trying to take his whole neck off. Well, let's actually take the neck off. Let's put this back on. Let's pop just his head off. Now, the thing about these Mafex figures is they don't always swap heads very well. They tend to have specific slotting. Yeah, like, for example, I can't put that. That would be cool. That might be cool. but his head actually does not slot in to that peg. That's just how custom these guys are. Let's try a few other head swaps. So, well, we can try some hand swaps too if we really wanted to. So here's our John Henry Irons Man of Steel. Let's see if we can peg him in. Nope, his head also does not peg. Now there's something interesting here. We could try removing the entire neck. Come on, John, get your head in straight. Hey, yo. Henry down. John Henry down. Now, if you're looking for cool Mafex toys, I gotta tell you, the John Henry steel figure is one of the best, as is this guy, the Superman, the Cyborg Superman figure. One of the coolest action figures in the lineup. So far, no one's taken the head. Now, this guy is a bootleg Wolverine. I actually did do an unboxing video, but I was a little unsatisfied with how he turned out, so I didn't post it. Maybe I'll post it. If you guys want to see it, let me know. I could retroactively post it. Now we're back to Dark Claw, the Dark Claw times, which could be cool. This figure. This is not a very good figure. It is a bootleg Mafex figure, but not bad. Only about 30 bucks. Pretty good for a $30 bootleg Mafex Wolverine. And he did come with a slew of hands and heads. Maybe you're wondering how this guy compares to a McFarlane, though. So, McFarlanes tend to scale oddly with themselves, let alone with other lines. But here you go. Here's a McFarlane Batman, which is a damn cool Batman, this guy. But as you can see, absolutely dwarfs the Mafex line. So that Batman figure is just not going to scale well with any of your Mafex figures. McFarlane and Mafex do not scale well together. In fact, I wouldn't even say Mafex scales that well with, like, your Marvel Legend figures, although they're a little closer. They're in between the two. So Marvel Legends is still larger than the Mafex. And then, here's a Batman Doomsday, redesigned to be a Doomsday. Definitely big. I like this figure. The QC on these Mafex tend to be pretty good. He seems to have a slightly weak toe here. Not sure what's up with that one. The other toe seems pretty stiff. This one seems to just want to go up. Sometimes that happens. He definitely got some back muscles. He did not skip back day at the gym. He's got literally the pouchiest belt you've ever seen. And such an outrageous cape. you almost definitely probably want to put them on a figure stand so you can get all the mileage out of the cape. But he's freestanding. I mean, Mafex has made this dude freestanding. I dig it. Next Mafex on my line. Now, I actually thought this was going to be the Superboy showing up, because I pre-ordered that Superboy over a year ago. And he's still not here, so got my Eradicator, got pretty much the entire Death of Superman line. At this point, just missing that Superboy, so. Alright, well, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, stay graphic.